In 1995, the Sisters of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary carried out a survey in Lusaka's Bauleni area to ascertain the number of children with special needs living in that area. Following this survey, it was found that over 100 children, young people between 10 months and 24 years, were kept in different homes and isolated from the public as a result of the stigma that was attached to any form of disability. The findings of the survey gave birth to the Bauleni Special Needs Project 3 years later, which is managed by the Sisters of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary within the Catholic Archdiocese of Lusaka.
Bauleni Special Needs has a very humble beginning. We had two sisters in our congregation, Sister Eileen McLaughlin and Sister Elizabeth Dawson. Sister Elizabeth Dawson was a special needs teacher, and she was lecturing at Zamise. And Sister Eileen McLaughlin was teacher for general education. So in 1996, that's when Bauleni Special Needs began. Actually, it was called Bauleni Street Kids. That's it. It was known all over Lusaka. So the two sisters, one had a passion for special needs and the other for general education. So they did a survey from the surrounding areas in Bauleni compound and found that there were a lot of children with special needs who were hidden in their homes. And the others, if we remember, around 1996, the HIV pandemic was really high. We had a lot of orphans and children opted to be on the streets. So that's why we opened this project for the two streams. So it has actually developed quite a lot over the years, from 4 classrooms. Now we are running from reception of special needs children, preschool for special needs children, up to grade 12. And also we have the mainstream from grade 1 to grade 12. So Bauleni has really grown over the years.
In Zambia, we are in Imbala, Kasama, Chingola, and Lusaka. In all our programs and projects, we are offering education, that is special needs education to children with disabilities. We also offer general education, and we offer skills as well as nutrition.
Most of the children and young people discovered were also found to be either orphans or coming from very poor families. As a response to that challenge, the sisters started a home-based education program for children with severe disabilities and their families. The project has over the years rapidly grown from strength to strength, providing education to children through the community school for orphans and vulnerable children.
We have scored a lot of successes over the years, and we are proud of the successes that we have. One of them is that that holistic approach that we have towards our education here at Bauleni. We look at a child or a young person holistically to look at the needs and also what the skills they need when they are here, so that they can be incorporated in society and participate fully in society. Bauleni is also a center of excellence. We have a lot of people and also universities and colleges who send their students to come and have a learning experience, a practical experience, because of the vast types of disabilities that we are handling. One of the disabilities that we have, and I think we are the only school in Lusaka and also in Zambia who have actually classes for children with deaf blindness and also children with multiple disabilities. So that is a huge success for us, and we have in-service trainings for all our staff. Teachers and support staff are trained to handle children and young adults with special needs. Also, it is a welcoming environment. It's very warmly, and people love to come here to share the love and service that we are called to.
The disabled children are usually looked down on by the larger society as not being important due to entrenched stereotypes. Currently, the Bauleni Special Needs Project has 1,402 children, including those with special needs in school, and reaching out to over 209 children in rural communities of Chilambila, Chifwema, and Kawezia through the home-based education program.
Our history ya mwana anabadwa siza but sini zibe chine but madokta yene anakamba kuti kampeza na cerebral palsy. So ndiye kudwara kwake okutero kukamba libe kuyenda kulibe so chabe tilimbikiza mlandu wa physio ku Bauleni kwamene nenzo kuyenda naye nchinikalonkala ku Bauleni nenzo yenda naye ku physio ndataula kunkala senzo kwanisa kwine enzo nkala cha biso monga kutandizo kumankwala kweve vamatitandiza munkwala kweve timaenda tatenga ngati wasila ni maenda natenga panipasa maybe zanipasa wa 3 months wa 4 months kuti munkala kutali mtengeretu mankwala so
kai ananipasa mulungu manje ne kulibe kwamene ngachitire mina. That's why niliwolimbikira kusunga mwana nkati wachokapo tipatsana tumachansi chakuti iwe kapena kasebenzeko yaka winangu wasalana mwana sikuti sinakumane nazo nakumana nzambi. So nima wauza kuti izo zamene imwe mungaganize musaganize tero kuma 10 sungirani pamodzi nthawe zina imakhala chiyeso chochokera kwa Mulungu. So nima balimbikisa tero yona.
To further address the plight of the disabled or vulnerable and marginalized young people and their families, Bauleni Street Kids Project, as it was known then, established a skills training center where young people are trained in general agriculture so they could use the skills to empower themselves by starting up their own enterprises back in the community or applying for jobs to get employed in the local farms. In 2009, an agreement was reached with the Technical Education, Vocational and Entrepreneurship Training Authority, TVETA, and the project was registered under TVETA as a training center. The project has, since registration, trained a number of youths with special needs and the vulnerable in the skills training programs.
The offering of skills at Bauleni Special Needs Project means a lot for the children in their youthful stage. We offer these skills for self-sustainability, and these skills help the children to acquire jobs as well. When they get empowered here with the skills, definitely you expect their lives to change. So in short, the skills help in changing lives for the better. Bauleni Special Needs Project offers food production, trade test level 3, it offers general agriculture, it offers carpentry, and it offers fashion, design, and textile technology. And these are in level 3 due to the nature of the children that we enroll here, special children. We are affiliated with TVETA and we write exams under TVETA. Most of the children have acquired these skills over the years at Bauleni Special Needs Project, and these skills have helped them to be employed. These skills have helped them to be bosses on their own. Most of our children are running businesses on their own. I'll give an example of those who did design and technology. They have their own machines and they're sewing, they're making uniforms in markets all over, changing lives in their livelihoods. And then we also have those that are employed in hotels, in lodges, and all over. And then if you look at those doing carpentry, they're employed elsewhere where they're doing carpentry. And then general agriculture, most of them are working on farms, and others are doing their own businesses. I'll give an example of those that are doing, they're rearing chickens of their own. Others are doing fish farming. To be very frank, even if most of the children are taken on in the employment world, we still have a gap. And this gap is about exposing our children with special needs out there. It's like certain companies do not accept the children with special needs. Even if they have these skills, they will not enroll them, they will not employ them. So for this reason, I think I would urge the government to come in and sensitize the nation to say, even children with special needs, once they acquire these skills, they can still work just like any other child. Because we say disability is not inability. They have acquired the skills here, and they're doing well. They've passed the exams. They have the certificates, but when they go out there, as long as they are special children, you'll find that some companies reject them. So this is a big challenge. We need people to come in.
The project's school section provides inclusive education for both the mainstream children and for those with special needs. The classes at the school range from Lowani class, meaning come in, a class for the severely disabled children, a preschool for children with special needs, and the primary and secondary section. The school receives a grant from government and has qualified mainstream teachers and special education teachers.
Our special needs are handled according to individualized problems that they present to us. We handle them according to their disabilities, but more especially we concentrate more on their abilities, what they are able to do. So if the child has a hearing impairment problem, we teach them using sign language. Then the learners with sight problems or visual impairments, we teach them using Braille. Because the learners present different problems. So as a special school, we teach them according to their categories. Yes, and these impairments vary from mild to severe. So the teachers are able to handle them according to their type. You know, there are learners who come into school. For example, I can give an example of the autistic learners. They come to school with disruptive behaviors, but we are able to modify them, and accordingly, you find that at the end of the year, they are able to interact with their friends. They are able to be teachable, and we are able to control their behavior into the acceptable mode. There are also learners with deaf blindness. I think on that one we have scored. There are learners who came into the school without knowing to do anything, but as a school, we are able to teach them. We can gladly say that they are able to walk around the school on their own. They are able to make doormats, and they are able to interact socially with peers.
In supplementing the support from the Zambian government and the donor community, Bauleni Special Needs Project runs income-generating activities which include bakery, vegetable production, carpentry, knitting and tailoring, a shop, and a piggery. All these activities are meant to help sustain the project and eventually make it self-reliant.
So Bauleni Special Needs Project runs a number of income-generating activities to support the children with special needs. Of course, we do receive support from cooperating partners, the donors, and of course individuals. But of course, this is not enough. So as to supplement and enhance the activities, we run a number of income-generating activities. And these activities include the farm where we are now. Yeah, we do run a number of activities here. We've got the piggery, we've got the poultry, and also doing fish farming. And besides these other activities, we also have a hammer mill, we've got a shop, and the carpentry shop. So all these are aimed at raising some income to support the project. Besides that, we also have a bakery where we produce quite a number of bakery products, the bread, the buns, which again we sell to the locals within Bauleni compound and those outside Bauleni, and also in the shop for those that are passing through our premises. So all these activities are aimed at supporting and supplementing the activities that we do here at the project. More so, we're also looking at the issues of self-sustainability. How do we sustain ourselves without, in the event that we don't have donor support? So all these activities are done to help out run activities. But we still want to make an appeal to well-wishers and other cooperating partners that indeed they come on board and help with providing support in terms of financial and materials, because everything that we do here are all to go towards helping that child who is disabled, so that equally they can have education and they can be inclusively inclusive in all the activities that they do in terms of academics. So we therefore appeal to any other wishers that can come through and help us with the activities that we run at the project.
Bauleni Special Needs Project realizes that not every child can access a normal schooling environment due to the nature of some disabilities. Thus, the project has been committed in providing home-based education, sometimes called homeschooling, to children with special needs, which is a community-based program. Teachers and trained community volunteers from Bauleni Special Needs Project provide services to the beneficiaries through home visitation at least twice a week. This is done both in the urban areas of Kalingalinga, Mtendere, Kanyama, Bauleni, Matero, and rural areas of Kaweza, Chilambila, and Chifwema.
Home-based education program. This is a special program designed for children with disabilities, those that do not have access to education in the mainstream. And there we have teachers, volunteer teachers who go out and help them out. So we have various categories of these children with disabilities. There are those that are of age, that is of school-going age, where teachers will teach them from their homes, let's say pre-numbering and those academic like literacy and other things. Then there are those that cannot be incorporated in the school because of age, probably, and also the condition that they are in. We take, for instance, a child with CP, which is cerebral palsy. If this child, we help them out from their homes to at least have activities that will help them, skills that will help them incorporate with others in the home, such as home chores. Maybe a child is not able to hold a cup, then a teacher will help this particular child how to hold a cup and maybe how to identify a few house items in the home, so that they are also like any other child in the home. So we do such activities to make sure that a child, even in their condition, they are not left behind. The success that we've had is that some children never used to walk, never used to talk. By this time around, those that have managed, they are walking, and the others are talking, improving on their languages and socialization, because others, like those with autism, they have the challenge of socialization. But with this, after intensive visits, the children are able to socialize with other family members.
Among the many services provided to the children at the Bauleni project include psychosocial support, physiotherapy for children who cannot walk, speech therapy, counseling, provision of epilepsy drugs, and support adherence to medication. Bauleni Special Needs Project acknowledges the importance of safeguarding the welfare of these vulnerable children and hence places emphasis on their safety at all times.
So we have a safeguarding policy at Bauleni Special Needs, which is there in place and it has been displayed in most of the points at school in order for the pupils to read and also for the teachers to be aware of the policy. We are ensuring that the policy is working out by making sure that we train all the new staff members that come to our project. When we have new teachers, even student teachers who come to our project for attachments, we make sure that we train them in the issues concerning safeguarding. We also train all the pupils starting from grade 1 up to secondary section, which is grade 12, and all the students that come for skills, we train them in child protection so that they are aware of the abuses that happens in the community and also within the school. And we make sure that during the training, the teachers, they sign so that they account for it, that they have learned the child protection policy. And making sure that it is being followed, we usually have reviews and we have meetings with the management to make sure that the child protection policy is being followed. And we have the personnel who are in place, like the child protection officers who are there. So they give them information about the child protection policy, and we have contact numbers for those child protection policies that are displayed everywhere. So the learners can easily inform the child protection officers about any abuse that are happening within the school or outside the community. In rural areas, we have done child protection like in Chilambila, Chifwema, and Kaweza, because Bauleni is also part of, they reach as far as Kaweza. So we have to make sure that the people we are working with are aware of the police. So we have gone to the rural areas and we have done the child protection workshops with the parents, with the pupils, and also with all the coordinators that we are working with to ensuring that our children or the children under home-based care are protected.
The project has over the years worked with the government of the Republic of Zambia through the Ministry of Education. This has been possible through the government extending grant facilities to the project and also helping with the payment of some teachers who teach the disadvantaged children, among other areas of cooperation between the two.
The cooperation with governments, I think that is a big success. That we have a very good relationship with the Ministry of Education, supporting us in our works. We are very happy and we've really succeeded in partnering with different donors and different organizations, locally and international. And also individuals, they come here and also participate in the helping of our children and young adults. Also the sensitization programs that we've carried throughout the country, especially on deaf blindness and also child safeguarding and early identification of disabilities, and also how to help and handle children with disabilities. So those are some of the successes that we've achieved. Of course, there are so many.
Despite Bauleni Special Needs Project making positive strides in its various project activities, it still faces challenges in funding, and so more funds are needed to ensure it carries out smoothly its activities. This requires various stakeholders coming together to lend a helping hand for the benefit of the vulnerable children.
The challenges that we face as Bauleni Special Needs Project in terms of funding. Of course, we have got donors. Our major donors are Mission Care, Signal, and other donors have come on board. But look at the needs of the project are quite big, quite enormous, such that these donors cannot meet all those challenges. So our major challenge is to finance all the needs that Bauleni Special Needs Project faces in various areas. Remember, we've got home-based, which needs a lot of funding. Therefore, apart from the donors, my appeal where I'm sitting as finance and admin manager is for local donors to come on board and help this project. It is doing a noble cause for humanity. Looking at the children that we have seen countrywide, there's a lot that needs to be done. Yeah, we appreciate the government has come on board helping paying the teachers, but we still need other people like assistant teachers to be paid. These home-based care people, they also need to be paid so that they are motivated to do what they do. Most of them, they do it on a voluntary basis. We need to feel for them as well, even as we go out there to do our monitoring. There's much that needs to be done. So please, people out there who have got money, this is an area where you can invest your money. God sees whatever you will do. The investment won't be for nothing, but it will be for a good cause, and God will reward you in one or the other.
Challenges that we are facing at Bauleni Special Needs Project, and some of them are infrastructure. We are very limited. We don't have enough space to accommodate all our learners. I feel and I think the demand is very high. We have about 1,400 learners, but the space is not enough. When we talk of the hostels, most people are still coming for the space, but we cannot accommodate them at the moment. We have weekly boarding. Even in the classes, we have more than actually the required number of pupils that are supposed to be in the class because of the lack of infrastructure. Even if we don't have enough space, we have a multi-therapy block where, with the support of the donors, where we, as Bauleni, we need to offer services in terms of speech therapy, physiotherapist, and even in sensory room. So we need more members of staff to come and support us. So we need like health personnel, we need nurses, we need speech therapists, we also need occupational therapists, and more support staffs, especially from the school side, where maybe in class where we have 20 learners, maybe, and there are special needs, you'll find that there are only 2 teachers. Our learners need a lot of attention, so we need more members of staff. When we talk of the hostel, we have weekly boarding facilities where we have mothers who alternate. There are a few of them. We need more of them because look at the kind of the disability that we are dealing with, like deaf blindness, even like autism, that needs a lot of attention. So we need a lot of members of staff in that area. And also we are running a program, home-based school education program, where we follow our learners in their respective homes. So it is the same few members of staff that we have that goes to reach out to the children in their respective homes. So, and they are dedicated, they are very committed. They spend most of the hours in school. Then the rest of the hours they group themselves, they go in the compound. So they need that support in terms of maybe little incentive. It's extra work that they do and it needs a lot of attention. And also on the same home-based program, we reach out even in Lusaka rural areas like Chifuema, Chilambila, where like this coming rain season, it's very difficult for us to reach there. It is very unfortunate that then our learners, they don't get anything during rain season. So we need their transport so that at least they are constantly visited. We give them our services. So these are some of the challenges that we are facing at our project.
We receive good help from the well-wishers, but it's our appeal that many well-wishers can come to our aid so that they help us. When you run a weekly boarding facility, which means we need to feed the children, we need to have school feeding programs, but due to insufficient funds, we are not able to.
I think what I can appeal to the donors and the well-wishers is that a child with disability is also a child like any other child who needs the support that even any other child receives. Support to talk of health facilities, because the challenges that we also face is that they have the facilities are far apart from where these children are, as well as food. You know, a child with disability needs to be taken care of. Also, for the caregivers, the movement to these homes, talk of bicycles, so that at least they ease their movements, so that their distances are shortened.
I would like to actually make a plea to our stakeholders, especially here in Zambia. I'll start with the government. Of course, they've given us teachers, but they are not enough teachers compared to the kind of children that we are handling. We are handling children with severe disabilities who really need attention one-to-one, but we really lack teachers to handle our children. At the moment, our classrooms are so full. We have some classrooms are 15 to 20 children with disabilities being handled by one teacher. I also want to request for government to look into training of assistant teachers, because we've done it here. We've trained them at Bauleni in cooperation with Zamise, and they are helping us. But they do need salaries, so we need salaries to pay the classroom assistants. Also, we need help from partners to improve our infrastructure. The kind of children we have really need a conducive infrastructure which is accessible, but at the moment we haven't reached that yet, and we still have those challenges that children find it difficult to move from one area to another. Also, educational materials that suit the kind of learners that we have. So those are some of the pleas that we are making to stakeholders, anybody who can come on board and help us, and especially governments, because government, it will be more sustainable, because that will be something that governments will actually have to put in their planning as they make even budgets that we have. We need to employ staff, support staff for our children.
The Sisters of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary will continue to provide the much needed inclusive education to children with special needs and the vulnerable, as this is what the congregation believes in. The project is welcome to all stakeholders who share in the same vision of helping the children with special needs and the vulnerable, ensuring that no child is left out in education regardless of their condition.